Pretty radical solution to the housing crisis.
Max Ramo is house hunting.
Turn off that bullshit.
Is taking back the land into vacant homes. Is it legal?
The concern is, how many people can you help? I understand that you've helped at least 6 families. Who are these people?
Nadine Pierre wants to provide a home for her family. Like millions of other Americans, when the economy gave way, Nadine lost her home.
You take away more than just a house. You take away a life. You take away a family. You take away memories.
When her husband lost his job, the bank repossessed their home, and the Trodies found themselves living in the back of their van parked in a supermarket parking lot. Building 820 and 840 have entered foreclosure.
I just had my baby a day after Mother's Day. I come home and my apartment is basically boarded up. Where me and my baby gonna go?
After the manager of the building spent months pocketing the rent instead of paying the mortgage, the bank decided to repossess the buildings.
I think it's very disloyal of the landlord to take my money and do other things with it, but besides what he was supposed to.
Desiree Wilson is 24 years old and has 2 small children. Desiree and her children are doubling up with another family living in their homes. She is considered homeless. Keith Sadler lives in Toledo, Ohio. He has lived in his home for more than 20 years, and despite his best efforts, he has been unable to save his home.
I lost my family home to foreclosure and eviction, and I don't know if anybody here knows anyone or has had anyone in their family lose their home, but it's an uprooting. We were uprooted.
You feel putting people out of the house, making homes every single freaking day.
Foreclosure is a big word for something very basic, getting kicked out of your house.
Because so many Americans put their value, their wealth, into their home.
This is a complete waste. This is not benefiting anyone. It's not benefiting the bank. It's not benefiting the community. It's not benefiting any of the families. There's no reason this house is empty.
So I think it's immoral to have vacant, empty homes on one side of the street and homeless families living in parks and sleeping in bushes on the other side of the street. It makes perfect sense to match these vacant homes, these peopleless homes, with homeless people.
40, 50 years ago, it was illegal for blacks to go into spaces that said whites only.
The civil rights movement saw the unparalleled use of civil disobedience to achieve civil and political rights for African Americans. For many historians, the period from 1954 to 1965 represented a high point in the push for social justice in American history.
And that our problem is not an American problem, it's a human problem. It's not a Negro problem, it's a problem of humanity. It's not a problem of civil rights, but a problem of human rights.
Americans today face the difficult task of bringing human rights to the forefront of their collective conscience.
The two, we choose people having housing, supersedes the right of corporations to make a profit. So if we have to choose between the two, we choose people having housing.
The objective of Take Back the Land is to elevate housing as a human right. We believe that housing is a human right, and we believe that the only way to achieve that is to have community control over land. In that same spirit, in that same way of organizing, we use nonviolence direct action organizing to draw attention to immoral laws.
Desiree Wilson and her 2 children occupied a Bank of America-owned home in Madison.
We're making history. We're doing a great thing here. It's helping me now, but it's paving the way for so many more people to have or be able to have a house of their own.
We interviewed her, we talked with her, we evaluated the situation, and we ultimately moved her into this home here.
I'm still looking forward to getting my other 3 children. They're gonna love this space, and it's big. There's a nice yard. It's, beyond being spacious. They will all each have a room for the first time.
The mission of Take Back the Land is to elevate housing to the level of a human right. They do it by liberating land.
On behalf of this family and this community, we liberate this home for this family.
And defending families against eviction.
People, if the bank lets them go back inside, okay, then the bank misses opportunity to sell the house to somebody else, okay,
And the bank
that
is
are
selling
looking for
so
a house.
many houses right now.
Well, and then if the bank lets everybody get back and sell a house for
People will have
free,
places to live.
Why are you getting arrested?
I don't know. They say I'm starting to riot. Because you got the loudest voice? Yeah, because I got the loudest voice.
Ashandra Young arrested at her Liberty City apartment building.
The police are working for the banks, not for the people.
Miami activist Max Rameau also arrested.
6 people are locked in a house right now in Wood County. They are waiting for police to come in and tell them they have to get out.
They want to fight foreclosure here, and they are using nonviolent civil disobedience to do it.
Take Back the Land and the Toledo Foreclosure and Defense League are on the front lawn as well, asking for justice. May 2010. In the early hours of the morning, a SWAT team storms Keith Sadler's home in Toledo, Ohio, and he is dragged out by force.
We're demanding that, one, turn this land over to the community land trust instead of giving it up to auction to another bank. We're also asking that they support families being here, that they do not evict folks.
If big banks can get government bailouts, then why not an ordinary guy like Keith Sadler?